The graduation address gives us the opportunity to hear from a distinguished member of our alumni community. And we're particularly fortunate today that the address will be delivered by Mr. Richard Henderson. Mr. Henderson has been a passionate supporter of graphic design over many years and is now the Chief Executive Officer of his own company, Arco. He has been responsible for the graphic design representing many of our best-known corporations. He's a founder and lifetime member of the Australian Graphic Design Association, Identity Design Director of the Sydney 2000 Olympic and Paralympic Games are but a few of his credentials. Over many years, Mr. Henderson and his companies are having a major impact on the creativity of the visual landscape of this country and overseas. Mr. Henderson is continually exploring the potential of creativity and its value to the business world. I now have much pleasure in inviting Mr. Richard Henderson to deliver today's graduation address.
Thank you, Chancellor. Mr. Simon McEwen, Deputy Vice-Chancellor and Senior Vice-President of Education, Professor Susan Elliott, members of the faculty, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome and congratulations to all of you graduating from the Monash Faculty of Business and Economics in 2021. I'm honoured to be here to present today and share with you the learnings of my professional life. I'm grateful for the courtesy extended to me by the university. I call myself a thinking creative. I use ideas and design to create visual identity solutions for business across all sectors. I help visualise a company's purpose. Standing here before you all, I do feel an intersection between my career leading me to this point, the 10 minutes of conversation I'll share with you, and after this moment in time, our journeys forward. I want to reference Professor Susan Elliott's comments before, which I was really inspired by, and it's, I suppose, about dreams and contribution to something greater than ourselves. The sharing of my journey in a conversation with you leads me to the subject of my address. It's about purpose, imagination, and adding value through creativity. I've encapsulated it into 3 stories: past, present, and future. To quote the American philosopher Ralph Waldo Emerson, what lies behind us and what lies before us are small matters compared to what lies within us. My first story is about yesterday. My journey began at home in Mount Eliza and then my years at the Peninsula School, which my mother and father helped found. By the time I'd finished my schooling, both my parents had died. My father's lasting legacy to me was a half-hour meeting at our home with Richard Beck, a leading graphic designer of the time, who had been the 1956 Melbourne Olympic Games designer. This was an incredible coincidence because his name was also Richard, and 44 years later, I would lead my own team when we designed the Sydney 2000 Olympic Games identity program. After viewing my art folio, Richard Beck advised me to go to Caulfield Institute of Technology, which later became Chisholm and then after that Monash University, to study graphic design. Our meeting of all those years ago is a precious memory. At 19 years of age and not sure what my next step in my life would be, I had been given a sense of confidence in my capabilities, a direction and a key to opening a door of possibility by attending a graphic design course at Caulfield. I didn't even know what graphic design was, but I took the risk. My experience at Caulfield was like a hand fitting inside a neat glove. I'd found my passion, my purpose, and upon reflection, my why. I'm indebted to the lecturers and my colleagues at Caulfield for that opportunity. The significance, of course, was not clear to me at that time. However, I can assure you can all appreciate at this stage of your journey how discovering your purpose is a revelation. It becomes the golden thread for your life. After my experience at Caulfield Institute of Technology, I worked as a junior designer for 3 years, where I learnt the craft of design and the expectations of being employed. In 1976, I founded my own design agency with 2 other partners. Over the next 25 years, our firm, Richard Henderson and Arnold, evolved from a graphic design agency into a branding firm that engaged with business at the highest level. We experienced the change from craft to computers. We negotiated our own personal journeys as we grew up. We survived through tough times by believing in ourselves. We were elevated onto the shoulders of the talented people who worked with us because we gave them opportunities to discover their purpose and nurture their potential. In 1995, we won the 2000 Olympic Games competition for the visual identity, and I spent 5 years on that project. Over the years, we created immense brand value by designing identities for Telstra, BHP Billiton, ANZ, Orica, Crown, and AFL, to name a few. After the Olympic project in 2001, we sold our design business to a global brand agency. This was a significant commercial achievement in itself. 3 years later, I left and founded my own firm, Arco, specialising in brand identity to differentiate business in a globally competitive marketplace. I'm a very proud Australian designer. In 2008, I was appointed a consultant to the Beijing Olympic Games, which started my enduring relationship with Chinese creativity. I assisted young Chinese designers to come to Monash, and I partnered with Chinese designers and opened an office in Hong Kong. My career at Arco has seen the creation of identities for the Commonwealth Games, Australian Super, Invictus Games, MCG, Yarra Trams, etc. I've evolved from a graphic designer into a creative thinker engaged with business at all levels. In closing this chapter of my journey, I'd like to share with you 3 insights. Firstly, in my experience of life, there is no shallow end. You have to dive deep if you want it to be meaningful. 2, you have to stay patient and trust the journey. Most importantly, keep pressing forward with a sense of direction. And 3, you should seek to discover your why by identifying pursuits that you are passionate about. My second story is about today. Let's think about our planet Earth and its relevance to the universe. In scale, it's a billionth the size of a pinhead or a millionth the size of a grain of sand. To me, it's inconceivable that all of life is not part of a higher purpose, a cosmic essence, a symmetry of atoms that governs all things. I like the idea of all is part of us and we are part of all. As Einstein said, the most beautiful and profound emotion we can experience is the sensation of the mystical. It is at the root of true science. That deeply emotional connection of the presence of a superior reasoning is revealed in the incomprehensible universe. There are over 7 billion people living on this fragile earth. Every living person has been gifted the power of imagination. It's the one thing that separates humanity from every other species. And we can observe that from the imaginations of caveman to spaceman. And where does this imagination reside? It lies in the mind, the essence of your being, and beyond the workings of the brain. Did you know that the heart sends more messages to the brain than the brain sends to the heart? My thoughts for you as you journey from this place into the world is that the linear process of rational thought and distribution of wealth must be considered in the overall cosmic symmetry of things. Although business and economics are the things we most often hear about, they are only part of the equation. Linear thinking is not enough. We are all gifted with imagination. It is essential for life on Earth that we use ideas to connect with the bigger picture and a higher purpose, something that Susan mentioned before. I'd like to share these 3 insights with you. Consider this. What is out there and is proven was once imagined. 2, you can change the world with your ideas. Your knowledge provides opportunities to contribute to a better way. And 3, If organisations had a declared statement of a higher purpose beyond economics, there would be greater understanding and less destruction on our planet and life on it. My third story is about tomorrow. As you journey forward, it takes a great deal of courage and faith to accept what is yet to be known. It takes self-belief and a willingness to embrace risk, to surrender to uncertainty, to avoid trying to control outcomes, or revert back to the safety of the familiar, which is no longer working. I know this because I face the uncertainty with our team of creating on the white page every day, project after project. I encourage my clients to take the risk because there is enormous risk in being safe. The current chaos of the pandemic is creating an invisible, uncertain threat to our life as we have known it. A new future is unfolding, and this creates global unease. Many of the things that we have known are no longer relevant. It is time to reimagine, reshape, redesign, and reconnect, because COVID has changed every connection as we know it. How will you adapt to this change? How will you be relevant? How will you be part of the future that you've envisaged for yourself? May I suggest 5 practical ways that you can position your uniqueness and be relevant. Firstly, share your story. They're always amazing. 2, describe your values, so critical in today's world. Most importantly, define what complex problem you can solve. Declare your passion and identify your mission and the legacy that you wish to have for the world. So in conclusion, looking at the journey theme of yesterday and today enables the dots of our life to be assembled as experienced footprints. But we can only see those footprints and assess their significance from the perspective of today. Your experiences of yesterday have brought you to this celebration of academic achievement. Today, this is it. This is what matters. And what of tomorrow? As you look back, what will the dots that trace your unfolding purpose be and your life legacy? There is every reason to be pessimistic and challenged by the chaos of today's world. But by reimagining new ways of thinking and doing, you all have the power to make life better by crafting a new world, to purposely contribute to that which matters. It is my belief that purpose is found in the alchemy of the imagination. It is fundamental to creating a picture of what we can be. Carl Jung, in his book, Modern Man, In Search of a Soul, writes, "No thought is unthinkable, no image is unimaginable. Every good idea and all creative works are the offspring of the imagination." And a final word. You've arrived at this point of high achievement after years of hard work and a commitment to purpose. Although we are all negotiating our own pathways, let's acknowledge that we did not get here on our own. You've been assisted by Monash University and those who know and care for you. They believed in our collective purpose, and like our own individual pictures of the future, they are imagining the best for us all too. Thank you. I hope that's been helpful to you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've been treated today to a very special graduation address. Like all of you, I was once a graduate in a similar faculty and felt that the way forward was essentially all mathematical and profit and loss and balance sheets and what have you. But what Richard has shared with us this morning is actually the more important part of where your course will take you. Business really does impact on every aspect of society, but it's not just confined to numbers. Thanks, Richard, for sharing with us this morning the fact that you took a risk and did your course at Caulfield. I'm certainly one who's happy you did because of the impact that you've now had on this nation and increasingly offshore. And to emphasise that higher purpose that I think any organisation, whether a non-for-profit, part of government, or a business, has to have beyond just creating a healthy bottom financial line is so important for true success, and indeed getting us out of bed and feeling good about the work that we do day in, day out. So, Richard, thank you very much again. Let's applaud.